Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. I've traveled all the way to Brisbane, Australia for the Scales and Tails Snake Festival. We're really excited to show you some really incredible animals. You're watching SnakeBytes. Only in Australia can you get a terrarium that's shaped as a coffin. The first snake that really caught my eye as I was walking around was albino olive pythons. These are starting to be bred here in Australia, and they're amazing animals. This one's a little bit feisty, and you can see it's got me pretty good, and it's been trying to bite me for the last few minutes. And that's okay. Handling a beautiful snake like this is certainly worth a bite. As you can imagine, in Australia, they're working a lot with carpet pythons. Obviously, carpet pythons are all over the place, but they're really starting to get into some morph animals now, like these jungle jags. And I tell you what, I've seen a lot of really bright animals, but look at the yellow at this thing. It is truly breathtaking.
What is Brian's dream startup business? A, his own zoo, B, a hockey camp for kids, or C, a training school for unicycles? Answer with a comment and keep watching to see if you're right.
These are some amazing blackheads that I came across. They're calling them ocelotted, and you can see they actually have kind of a circle pattern down them instead of the normal banding. They're really light animals too. It's almost like you're pulling some of the melanin out, or the black pigment. As a matter of fact, even their head patterns, instead of being super black like a normal blackhead, are more of a tannish brown color. These are truly amazing and something I've never seen in America whatsoever. Tell you what, I want to take this thing home with me. You guys might remember the last time I highlighted a roughy python when I was in Australia. Didn't go so well for me, and I ended up bleeding an awful lot. So it's really awesome to actually handle a tame roughy. I've been fascinated with this species of Carinata ever since I was little, so the opportunity to hold this one is really mind-blowing. And again, it's really cool that it's not eating me alive. I'm here at Joe Ball's table from BlueTongueLizards.com.au, and I have the distinct pleasure to be holding one of only 4 albino tree skinks in existence. This happens to be the original male that was produced from a fluke breeding from a captive breeding, and since he's raising them up and even has a gravid female, albino to albino. I tell you what, this is one of the huge perks of my job, to be able to walk around and hold some of the world's first animals. I'm going to show you some of Joe's other amazing skinks. Moving on to the next skinks, and some really cool animals are some Western Australia shinglebacks. Now typically you'll see shinglebacks from the New South Wales area, and they're typically brown or even black animals, but the WA animals are recognized by these beautiful orange heads. I tell you what, they are really cool animals, and I didn't even know these things existed until, of course, I'm holding them in my hands. Lastly, I want to highlight two really contrasting animals. What you have is a hypermelanistic or solid black blue-tongued skink, and of course an albino. These two are amazing. I tell you what, I have to get into blue tongues one day, and what's really cool about these is Joe has a gravid female of a hypermelanistic bred to an albino. So there's going to be some double hets and some snows in the future. Certainly when I think of really iconic animals from Australia, I'm often thinking of monitors or goannas. This is a Mertens water monitor. It's from northern Queensland, and it's just truly a beautiful animal, and it's also super tame, as you can see. What's interesting about these water monitors, believe it or not, is they can hold their breath for up to an hour and a half. That's pretty impressive. And this little guy is 14 years old. I tell you what, it's beautiful. I've always loved frilled dragons, but the majority of the frillies that we see in America happen to be the Indonesians, which are much smaller than the Australian versions. And they're just really awesome animals. Of course, they're extremely arboreal. They come from northern Queensland, but they're really known for their frills. And of course, they use this as a defense mechanism. When an animal comes up on it, they're going to put these frills out. It's going to make them look larger than life and kind of threaten the other animal, and hopefully the animal will run away. I'm also told that they have a big appetite, eating up to 100 bugs every meal. The last animal I want to highlight is really a special story. It's a household pet, and its name is Wally. It's an 8-year-old lace monitor, and believe it or not, it curls up with the household dog and sleeps at night. It's truly a special, special animal. And like always, when I travel to Australia, there's so many great animals I want to highlight. I wish I could bring each and every one of you guys along to an event like this, because I tell you what, it's one of the coolest experiences ever. So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It really was an awesome experience looking at all these incredible animals. If you ever want to follow any of my adventures, make sure to hit me up on Facebook and Twitter at SnakeBytesTV. Until next week, you've been watching Snake Bites.
So what is Brian's dream startup business? Well, if you guessed his own zoo, you are absolutely right. Good job.
Come on, girl. Okay, got it. Okay. Ready? Yep, I'm ready when you are.
Says this one's the Dodge you want?
Yeah. Okay.
Help me out.
Yeah.